So welcome everybody to tonight's pitch night. So we have a lot of really great finalists for you guys to watch. There, just as a little housekeeping, there's no food or drink in this auditorium. But there will be food afterwards, and so you can enjoy that in the pendulum area. So we'll first have an introduction, and then we'll have each of our 6 companies present. So each one of them will get 12 minutes to present. And then there'll be 8 minutes for questions. We'll open it up to the judges first, and then we'll, if they run out of questions, then we'll open it up to the general audience. And then we'll have 3 audience chosen awards at the end. And so I hope you all brought your cell phones so you can vote via text for each of those awards. We'll have instructions after the pitches, and that's when the voting will start. And so, this program is put on by Impact 307, which is a collaboration between University of Wyoming and Western Wyoming Community College. And as part of this program, we do give out free business mentorship. So if any of you are thinking about starting a business, you can give me a call at 307-466-3963, or you can email me at monica.patten@uyo.edu. And we couldn't have done this without our program partners. So this has been done through EDA CARES grant. So that allowed Impact 307 to expand to unserved regions of the state. Impact is part of University of Wyoming. We're also very good partners in this region with Western Wyoming Community College. And we also couldn't do this without the Rock Springs Chamber and Rock Springs Main Street URA. And our fundraising partners, so the seed funds, were locally raised, and we couldn't have done that without Rick Lee. Rick, if you could please stand up. The Rock Springs Chamber. And Chad Banks of the Rock Springs Main Street URA. There was also a lot of community support at community stores. We had collection jars out for the seed funds, and that raised hundreds of dollars from the community supporting this program. So those stores were Mac & Co., Wyoming Freight Company, Red White Buffalo, Daily Need, Coltrane Coffee, and Psychics Book Bar. We also had a lot of seed fund sponsorships from corporations and organizations. So we had University of Wyoming Research and Economic Development, RSNB, Dominion Energy, Industrial Services, Inc., State Bank, Simplot, William H. Smith and Associates, Commerce Bank, All West Communications, First Bank of Wyoming, Grow Wild, and Copier and Supply Company. And as we're preparing for this competition, we did have a business boot camp which was open to the greater community. A lot of the applicants did go to this business boot camp, and that was where a lot of the local professionals came and volunteered their time to teach all the businesses about things that they should consider. So for marketing, we had Springboard Platforms and Royal Flush Advertising. Then for legal and patents, we had Clark Stith, attorney, and Jason Allred, attorney. And then for accounting, we had Jenefer Cuthbertson, CPA. Then for banking, we had State Bank, Commerce Bank, RSNB. And then we also had the Green River Chamber, the Rock Springs Chamber, the Rock Springs Main Street URA, Wyoming Workforce Services there, and the Wyoming Business Council. And I think I've already introduced Rick. Kylie Ingersoll, if you could please stand up. So that is your regional representative for the Wyoming Business Council, if you need help. And everybody else will be, introduced later. And then we also, as we're counseling these not only the finalists that you see tonight, but all the applicants, we do refer them to a lot of economic development organizations. And so there are a lot of resources in Wyoming. So I'm gonna just touch on them so everybody's aware, because they're all wonderful. So we have the Green River Chamber, the Rock Springs Chamber, the Rock Springs Main Street URA, the SEDC, the Southwest Wyoming Manufacturing Partnership, the Wyoming SBDC, Wyoming Workforce Services, the Wyoming Business Council, Generator, Wyoming Women's Business Center, Impact 307, Western Wyoming Community College, and University of Wyoming, and the NSF I-Corps hub for the Great Plains region. And we're going to do something new this year. So we've had this program for 2 years in Sweetwater County, and we had a really good idea this year of recognizing, organizations of the year. Since we didn't have one last year, we'd like to recognize 2 companies this year. So we'd like to recognize Small Business of the Year, and this was Daily Need. So they actually asked every single customer of theirs to donate to the community seed fund jars, and then Red, White Buffalo. So we were a startup too last year, and so it's hard to get support until you have support from the first people. And so those first people were the Red, White Buffalo, telling people what it was like to be entrepreneurs, and State Bank. And the Startup Community Minded Bank of the Year is State Bank and RSNB. The Corporation of the Year, Dominion Energy and Simplot. And the Small Medium Enterprise of the Year is Industrial Services, Inc. The Educator of the Year is Melissa Atkinson of Green River High School. So last year she brought in a busload of Green River High School students, and we've been talking with her classes. And then the Partners of the Year are Rick Lee of the Rock Springs Chamber and Chad Banks of the Rock Springs Main Street URA. We'd also like to recognize our semifinalist judges. So they were Philip Stanton of Industrial Services, Inc., Ryan Brandt, who is the Rock Springs Branch Manager of State Bank, Taylor Simmers, Loan Officer of State Bank, and Rick Lee, CEO of the Rock Springs Chamber. And now we'd like to introduce our pitch night judges. So I'll let each of them introduce themselves.
My name's Taylor Siemers, and I work with State Bank as a loan officer, and I'm excited to hear you guys tonight.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ryan Brandt. Thanks for coming out tonight. Branch Manager for State Bank.
Good evening. I'm Todd Redmond with Dominion Energy. Just want to wish all of you the best of luck, and this is just exciting, so enjoy.
Hello, I'm Ozzie Hay with RSNB Bank. Thanks for coming out.
Hi, I'm Kathy Tomasi. I'm the co-chair for the Wyoming Business Council, and I'm from Evanston right now. Some exciting projects tonight, so thank you.
And tonight's live stream will be on YouTube, and it will be recorded. And Erik, Hamm, and Lori Crizzy are in the back room doing all the wonderful work for that. That's Video Pro Solutions. And we'd also like to thank Western Wyoming Community College. There's a lot of people that have given a lot of time to this. And specifically, I'd like to recognize Lori Crollo of Western Wyoming Community College. And refreshments will be provided by Linnell Williams and the Sodexo team at Western. And I'd like to thank President Kim Dale, Amy Murphy, and Cliff Whitstruck for all their help. And when this is all done, you will be able to vote for your favorite for Audience Choice Award presented by RSNB, a Job Creator Award presented by State Bank, and an Innovation Award presented by Industrial Services. I'm going to take a moment to introduce Dan Stanton of Industrial Services, Inc. He's back there. So, and also I'd like to introduce the rest of the Impact staff. So we have Derek Jarrett, our Senior Director. And then beside him, we have Brett, Assistant Director. And then we have Josh Keith, Assistant Director. And so now let's begin. So first up, we will have Black Gold Jelly Company, and this is Jenefer Tynsky.
It is now, I think. Can you hear me? Okay, great. As Monica said, my name is Jenefer Tynsky, and I am the founder of the Black Gold Jelly Company. When you think of jelly and syrup, you think of going to your grandma's house and having a nice piece of warm bread and putting some jelly on it and really just enjoying that sweet taste. We're not that jelly company. The first time that I made black garlic jelly, I put it on my toast with my breakfast in the morning, bacon and eggs, of course. Took my first bite, and it was the worst thing I'd ever put in my mouth. So I decided to dredge onward, and of course everything goes well with bacon, so I dipped my bacon in my jelly, and sure enough, it was something I had never ever tried before. It was amazing, and I soon tried my eggs with it. I tried all my dinners with it. I tried all my lunches with it, and so did my family. This is what we call the anything but toast jelly. The first time I was introduced to black garlic, I had no idea what to do with it. I was cooking some of my normal jellies, and I really thought that this just was a fluke deal. We had no idea what was going to befall us with making this product. Part of the reason we have this product, our consumers. Our consumers are inundated with sodium, high fructose sodiums, magnesiums, glutens, things that cause severe allergies, and it can also cause indigestion, gastrointestinal issues, high blood pressure, and even strokes. My brother was diagnosed with stage 4 renal failure, and in this course, the nephrologist told us to read labels that said heart healthy. Anything that was heart healthy probably wasn't, he said. For example, Campbell's soup, 410 milligrams of sodium per tablespoon in this can of soup. As you can see here, we took out some of our other leading competitors here to check out their sauces. Something most people don't know is that Worcestershire sauce has anchovies in it, which is common to make fish allergies. You can see in the Traeger sausage, you have caramel color, corn syrup, even soy. And of course, you have your soy sauce. Everybody loves a good Chinese meal with some soy sauce on it. That baby costs you 960 milligrams of sodium per teaspoon. For us, we started with tumbleweeds, mushrooms and greens here in Rock Springs. Michael Taylor came to me with the black garlic, and I had no idea what it was. He just said, what should I do with it? And this is what we started to do with it. Our products not only have great flavor, but they also have health benefits. So you're looking at protection from infection and immunity, improving your memory, improving your blood pressure, which is very important, lowering your cholesterol, which reduces your risk for heart disease. Our products are also made with things like turmeric, horseradish, blueberries, pomegranates. We have a brand new sauce, and it's an orange ginger turmeric sauce. So we're trying to establish that you can have good foods that are healthy for you without having all the junk put into it as well. We also have a new meat line that'll be coming out at the end of this month, right before New Year's. So we're pretty excited about that. That is made with Wagyu beef. And Wagyu beef is probably the healthiest meat that you can purchase on the market today. Cancer doctors tell their patients that this is probably the only red meat that they should consume because the body actually can process it. Of course, our competitors, Campbell's, Traeger, Ranch, most any product that you pull off of a shelf in a grocery store or specialty stores, you're going to find ingredients in there that causes allergens, food problems, kidney problems. Most people don't associate salt with your kidneys. Everybody thinks it's sugar. But salt is the #1 contributor to high blood pressure, which affects the kidneys. Excuse me for a second. Who are our customers? Our first customer was Maddie with Maddie's Tasty Creation. Last year in November, we decided to join forces and do our first home show. We decided that the charcuterie business was amazing. It allowed people to understand how to use our product, things that they can eat with it. We got a explain to them the health benefits of the process. A lot of our customers are women, but as of lately, we've been having a lot of men come up to us and tell us that they have been smoking with it or barbecuing with it. I had a lovely lady Monday night when I was doing a live with the Wyoming Ray's store come to me and tell me that her and her husband put our Lion's Mane bourbon sauce on some steaks the night before, and he didn't like it. So, just to get back at him, she put it on a roast and let it cook all day. And she said he ate almost the whole roast by himself. So it can be something where men, I hear this a lot, I don't want anything healthy. I can't eat sugar. My favorite excuse was, I have a chew in my mouth. Our customers are also our vendors, our retail stores. The first time we were asked to put our product in a store was with Red, White, and Buffalo. We had been procrastinating on doing so because we didn't feel like our product deserved to sit on the shelf where you might understand what it does if you buy it. We like the fact that we can go into any of our locations and do a pop-up, a vendor show, and really get to talk with our customers about the things that they like, the things that they would like to see, and of course their amazing stories about how they found us. Our company stretches all the way from South Dakota all the way into Upper Idaho currently. We have 2 stores in the South Dakota region, Minnesota Meats, which is our rancher who produces our Wagyu beef and brings it down to Gillette to our meat processing center. We also have a store in Lander, the 23 Squared. We have 2 in Rock Springs now, which is the Sidekick Book Bar and the Wyoming Raised Show, or the Wyoming Raised Company. And then we have the Red, White Buffalo in Green River. And we also have the Wild Sage in Green River and Rock Springs too. But we also have the food co-op in Utah that runs up into Idaho and does part of the western Wyoming and parts of Utah. So when we asked the SBDC to help us with some marketing research, we were told that it was very, very difficult because they didn't have really anything like it. So this industry, when they look at a sauce, they consider it barbecue. That's what they're saying is their number 1 seller in this market is barbecue sauce. So this is about a $2 billion industry. We are like in that 21%er group right there. We want to bring this business to Wyoming. We want to bring manufacturing and making sauces to Wyoming. According to the IBIS World Industry Report, Wyoming doesn't make anything that has to do with food, except cows. How will we achieve our goals? Of course, we have our marketing. We employ a lovely young lady, stay-at-home mother, who handles all of our marketing and photography. And we also have a cook, but they make it easy for us to be able to go out and sell. We're going to be prevalent in our vendor shows. At any event that we can possibly come out and hang out with the public, you'll find us there. You can find us on Facebook. On Wednesdays, we do a Wednesday recipe, and we're going to start trying to do a Tuesday how-to. How did we get where we are? Samples. We love to sample. We love when people come to us and they want to try something new. And if you ask my son, he will say we have way too many options. However, I just have a nightmare about it, and we create it, and then we love it. So it works out for me. We also are implementing new retail stores. We'll work with new restaurants, charcuteries, and meat processing centers around the country. We love our word of mouth. I think that by far is the best way we have sold our product. I love it when somebody tells me that they were at their aunt's house or their mom's house, and she made chicken with this pineapple stuff on it that was to die for. That customer will give me 5 more customers, and they will give me 5 more customers, and on down the line. So we love to visit with everybody about our products and the health benefits and how to use it. Of course, you can see here again, we'll do our orders through direct websites, vendors, retailing, and our retail stores. Our cash flow this year, we are working on our USDA certification. We're hoping to hire some employees and improve some of our equipment. In our second year, we're hoping to be able to travel to more vendor shows and increase production with more meat processing facilities across the state and even out of state. And of course, in our third year, you can see that great big jump right there in expenses in month 24, and I'll get into that here with this next slide. So our first year, USDA certification, why do we need it? Because then we can put our sauce in any meat in the country so it can be sold into any market in the country. We're going to be adding to our meat lines. Currently, we're working on summer sausages, salamis, brats, those kinds of things, jerky. I'd like to work with more farms and retailers this year. The reason we want farms and ranchers is because we want to be able to buy their produce from them. We want to be able to buy their beef from them, or chicken, or whatever it is that we want to process. In our second year, we're going to be adding more processing plants throughout Wyoming. We've already kind of started in Colorado, adding more retail stores and events around not just our state, but surrounding states, and purchase new equipment and hire 5 to 10 employees. Our third year, well, this is where that big expense comes in. I believe that in order for Wyoming to be recognized as a manufacturer of sauces or things like that, that we need to have the equipment to do so. So we're going to purchase a building with some new equipment, which will allow us to not only process what we do, but we can also process like Mr. Joe's stuff or the salsa guys. Currently, these products are being sent to Colorado or Utah to be cold packed. And this takes business from us. And we want to bring that back to Wyoming. We want to thank the 307 Startup Committee for everything that you guys do, as well as Rob Condi with the SBDC, Greg Maddock for the Workforce Services. And if you don't know anything about those guys, you should definitely try them out. And thanks to all of our friends and family who showed up to support us tonight.
And
questions?
And Jenefer's brought samples, so they're out on the table with on the Impact 307 table. So, what judge has first question?
Oh, I was waiting for you, honey.
I'll just ask a couple, and then if there aren't,
Okay.
I'll let others share.
Sure.
Okay, so you said that your USDA, you need to get USDA approved. How long does that take? When are you expecting it? And will that allow you to hire more employees? Okay, talk to me about that.
Okay, so currently we've already got our application with the USDA. We were just informed that we do not have to have the USDA recognition to be able to give it to our processors to put into their products, as long as they have the ingredient list for that. However, we're seeking that because we'd like to be able to make sure that that's the same case if we go out of state. And the turnaround time, we believe that we should have our certification by mid-January.
And the employees that you would ask to work for you, would they all be in Sweetwater County, or would they be around the state?
For right now, they would be in
Okay.
Sweetwater County. We'll need things like sales staff, shipping, labeling, packaging, receiving, that kind of stuff. So just the basic startups for us right now, as well as having them go out to vendor shows and meet our customers and really show them how to use the products.
Okay, good. One more question, and then I'll pass this down. I promise I'll pass this down. Once your construction has been finalized, you have on your ask letter, and when is that construction going to happen? And is it already happening? Because you say, okay, so would you talk a little bit about that?
I would. Just recently, we have a house, a rental house that we have right next door to us, and we decided that the best use for that rental house was to turn it into a jelly kitchen. So we have easy access, we have lots of room to grow, we have an office for our ad representative and for myself to be able to work in. So the construction phase will probably, hopefully, be done before the first of the year, and hopefully the USDA certification will follow shortly after. You're welcome.
Just as a follow-up to that, on the full processing facility that you're talking about in year 3, what do you envision that containing as far as would it be a full on, would you have a animal processing facility?
Nope.
Or is it, okay.
No, it is strictly to produce sauces, jellies, jams, syrups, whatever anybody in the state of Wyoming or anybody out of the state would like to send to us, we can process that. So like, I know of a company who sends his recipe to a packing place in Colorado, they pack it for him, and then they have to send it all the way back. So this person has little to no wiggle room in his product. It has to be at a set price because he cannot afford, you know, to take that loss. The cost to have them shipped, even our glass, to have our glass shipped is atrociously expensive. So when we look at building this processing facility, I'm also looking at wanting to have a glass works facility. Why a glass works facility? We're a Trona state. We're buying glass all the way from Arkansas and having it sent all the way to Colorado, and then we have to buy it all the way from Colorado to here. So that expense, so I can order $800 worth of jars, and it's going to cost me $1,200 to get it here. So we want to bring this manufacturing to our state and to help people, you know, with these ideas that they have to be able to flourish and not have to pay such a high price to have their product manufactured.
Thanks for that. Any other judges?
So as you expand and you talk about hiring employees to do the labeling and things, are there like machines out there you could do to?
There are machines, and we've looked at them, and not that we're not going to buy one, but you still have to have somebody there with the machine, because the last thing I want is to come in and have a roll of labels jammed up in my machine or bottles flying off the end of the conveyor belt. So yeah, but we would like to have them there, because even though it's being labeled automatically, we still have to have it packed, shrunk, you know, the shrink wrap at the top, and packed in the boxes, taped, labeled, and then ready to ship. So it'll be a whole process for an employee. Right now, the owner does it, and yes, it's time consuming. One more? Anybody?
I would think building a manufacturing plant for glass jars is probably a big expense.
It is a big expense. Luckily, the soda ash companies had another project that they were working on, and they decided that it was becoming very costly, and now they were looking into making a glass workshop here. So even if several of us go in to help this process, I believe that in the future we will have a glassworks facility. I just don't see why we send our Trona out to somewhere else to be made into glass, to be sent to a store, to be sent back to us, to fill it up and go through all that extra expense and all that extra work, frankly.
I think that would be great for Wyoming.
I do too. I do too. Thank you. Oh, I almost took off your time.
So next up, we have Purely Persistent, founded by Michelle Schutten.
Okay, can you hear me now? There we go. I'm a teacher. I have a loud voice. All of you could hear me. Okay, so this is a national problem. Riley is not the only one that does not have her high school diploma. 30 million Americans, working age adults, ages 18 through 64, lack a high school diploma. And in Wyoming, that number is 30,000. And this number is only getting bigger. 5.1% dropout rate in the United States, and in Wyoming, it's a shocking 18%. Now, countywide, it's also an issue. In 2022, Sweetwater School District number 1, Rock Springs, had a 23.7% dropout rate. Green River, 15%. In Sweetwater County, 1,900 adults lack a high school diploma. And not only that, it's a societal problem. Their weekly earnings are low. Their unemployment is high. Poverty is high. And as employers, they lack soft skills and hard skills. Then there's a social problem with higher health risks. They're more likely to be incarcerated. 75% of those incarcerated lack a high school diploma. And then there's the generational use of social assistance. This is a problem in our country, and Purely Persistent is here to help out. Purely Persistent is a Wyoming-based online education company that helps people obtain their GED, develop a satisfying career, and ultimately achieve life skills and the happiness that everyone deserves. So it started a couple years ago with a YouTube channel. And I've been doing this YouTube channel, and people are telling me that this is helping them. Every single day, I'm receiving comments on my YouTube channel about how this has impacted people's lives. It's helped them pass the test and transform their lives. Every day I receive these comments. So I know what you're thinking. Western Wyoming Community College offers a high set or GED program. It does. I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher there for 12 years. And I know that there's a little bit lacking, and that is why I have created Purely Persistent. So take the struggles that the schools are unable to meet, they need extra resources, and Purely Persistent fits that demographic and solves that problem. So combine Purely Persistent with your local GED school, and that is the key to success. My customer, about half female, half male, US-based, 25 through 44 years old. Most of them have a family, low income, but they're highly motivated because they know that this education is going to get them to the next step in their life. So as I mentioned, 30 million Americans lack a high school diploma. Last year, though, 200,000 graduates in the United States. And in the last 90 days, Purely Persistent has had 67,000 unique visitors on the YouTube channel. So I'm really touching a lot of the lives of people that are getting their GED. So competition. Right now I have a YouTube channel, and I will continue to offer free content. This is a low-income demographic. But the next three areas are where I really shine, where my company really shines. So collaborating with local programs. As I mentioned, I'm not here to replace local programs. I am here to supplement local programs. Now, GED focused is key. Some of my students come in at a 5th grade level. Just imagine, most of us are adults in here. Imagine going back to school and being taught like you were a 10 or 11-year-old. That's what repurposed content does. And Purely Persistent is designed for adults, not for 10 or 12-year-olds. And then the customer connection is key. This shining face here is what motivates students to get their GED. And that is really what sets my company apart, because I care about my students and they know it. My two biggest competitors here. The man up there is Leonard. He is an animation. My students don't like that. They tell me that they don't like the animation. They want a real human. Next, we have Test Prep Champions. Notice how there's no face. Sometimes he has a face, but he doesn't always have the face. You will see my face in every video, encouraging people all along the way. So currently my marketing strategy is YouTube and an email list, as well as word of mouth. Because people share my channel. They share it with other people they know that are working on their GED. In the future, I will be expanding into other social media platforms. I worked with the University of Wyoming and did my own poll to find out that my audience spends quite a bit of their time on Facebook and on Instagram, but the younger group definitely does TikTok as well. Sales channel, 22,000 YouTube subscribers currently. These YouTube subscribers learn about my company, and then they follow my leads through email links, maybe a lead magnet, and that turns them into the likes. And these are the prospects. So I have a newsletter with 1,800 people, and these are people getting their GED, as well as providing testimonials to really help my business grow. And then finally comes the trust, where I have my sales, products, and courses. So as you can see here, 40% of my course, or 40% of my revenue comes from live courses that I'll be offering 4 times a year. After I offer the course a few times, it will turn into an evergreen course that anyone can take at any time. Today's Wednesday, they could sign up for it on a Wednesday. Google AdSense, I receive ads from the YouTube ad revenue from the YouTube channel that I have. Affiliates, so I am affiliated with a program that helps people read a little faster. I refer the program, refer my students to the program, and then I get a little bit of a kickback, as well as low-cost worksheets. Here's my cash flow. You can see it's very seasonal. It goes up and down. That's because of my live courses, the cash cow of my company. I offer those live courses 4 times a year, and you can see the chart going up and down 4 times a year. Now notice how there's a little bit of a lull. That's the summer lull. I don't know about you, but I don't want to go to school in the summer. I want to enjoy my summer, and that's how my students feel as well. So there's a little bit of a lull in income at that time. Time and scope. Right now, 1.5 million views on the YouTube channel with 22,000 subscribers. Next year, launching my first course in January on how to successfully pass the GED essay, as well as enhancing my social media and my website, and launching resources for teachers. Because again, this is a collaboration with local programs. In 2025, launch those evergreen courses that people can take anytime they want and expand my offerings. 2028, it is estimated by a program that I will be having 400,000 YouTube subscribers. At that point, 10 courses, and I will be the face of GED. So you look up GED, and this smiling face is what you will see. So remember Riley that we met at the beginning. She has graduated. And these are some of the impacts that Riley and others have. So 45% pursue higher education, such as here at Western Wyoming Community College. A $9,000 annual wage increase. Just imagine if I told you to pass the test and then you'll make $9,000 more per year. This is huge for this low-income demographic. And for us, it's boosting our tax rate. Instead of having people use social assistance, they are paying in to the tax base. And therefore, we'll have more qualified employees in Wyoming, which is critical. We all know that we want our employees to be qualified. And Riley feels really proud of herself. So a huge thank you to my students, YouTube subscribers, mentors, everyone at Impact 307, Monica, Lori, the judges, volunteers, my family. Thanks to all of you that attended and the folks that are online.
That's the first question.
Okay. again. I have several.
Oh, great.
So first of all, your enthusiasm and energy knocks me out. That
Thank
is
you. I
amazing.
appreciate it.
But I'm a little confused, and that's not unusual. Okay, so if you are doing the YouTube channel for free right now, am I correct? And you are going to charge students in the future, and that's correct?
Yes.
Okay, so if you are targeting lower income, as you say, students, what makes you think, and this is just, I'm playing devil's advocate, what makes you think that they would be willing to pay for a GED program when they can use a YouTube channel? I just want to understand the thought behind this.
Absolutely, great question. So here's an example. Like I said, the first course that I'm going to be offering is the writing course. I have videos on how to pass the writing course, but the videos are not all inclusive. They're not organized. Instead, you go onto a YouTube channel and you see all sorts of content, and it's not organized. There are no assignments. And by having a course, there's a lot more structure that is involved. There's more, I guess you could say, hand-holding that goes with it. Whereas when they watch my YouTube channel, they don't have that personalized guidance that they will feel with the course.
Okay, that answers it. Thank you.
Great, you're welcome.
Can I ask you one more
Please.
question? Okay, so in your ask, there's a $3,000 amount for video editing. And is that for marketing videos or the actual teaching videos?
The actual videos.
Okay.
So it's really utilizing my time wisely. It takes a long time to edit videos. And I have a pretty good base and understanding of how to edit videos, but I'm limited in what I can do. Professional video editors can edit videos at a much higher quality than I can myself. And then also, I want to be able to focus my time on actually growing the video or growing the business, not spending my time editing videos, which does take a long time.
I'm sure. Okay, thank you very much.
I guess my main question would be, once you do get those paying customers, whether you do kind of, if it is just the curated content that's right in a row for them, or as you said, like the hand-holding, do you walk them through the whole deal? And if so, how many students do you think you get going at a time, or will you do it in a kind of a virtual classroom with them all together, or separate? What's the plan?
So what I will do in my courses, both the live courses, I guess primarily the live courses, I will have pre-recorded videos that students can watch whenever they want and watch over and over if they need to, and then have times where there's a live question and answer, where we have a live class where we are perhaps playing a game that reinforces what they've learned. So really there's not a cap on how many students I can have.
Okay, and so in that case, you don't need to hire another teacher until later on down the line, or the virtual assistant that you talked about.
So I will be my plan is to hire a teacher probably in maybe July or August, and that's just helping me create content. I will still be the face of the company, but the teacher could go in and provide feedback on essays. The teacher could help create the content for the actual videos themselves.
Okay, I think you got a good thing going.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I'm curious, with the data that you've collected over the years, what's your success rate of the student that gets into your program? How many of them actually go through and get their GED? Do you have that data?
So we have that data from our local program here in Rock Springs and within the state of Wyoming. Let me just shout out for Wyoming. So there are two different tests. There's the GED and the HiSET. Wyoming doesn't really offer the GED, but it's, two tests that really get the high school equivalency certificate. But Wyoming is ranked first in the HiSET test, and Wyoming overall with measurable skills gains is ranked 5th in the entire nation. So, I mean, these are huge, huge accomplishments for Wyoming itself. As far as purely persistent, I don't have any specific data regarding this, but I do have, like I said, every day I'm receiving comments from people telling me, I passed this test, I passed that test, I passed all the tests, I'm now doing this with my life. So I don't have any specific data relating to that.
Okay, thank you.
So do you have any like specific data related to the usage of your program like within Sweetwater County?
Not specifically with, so right now I have my YouTube channel, and it does go specifically to which states are being used, but because of the population of Wyoming, it is showing lesser usage than other more populated states. However, I do know that my students use this content all the time. Just yesterday, I walked in the hall and I saw 2 of my students watching my YouTube videos right as they were about to take a test. And so this is a resource for students. I tell my students all the time, watch this video and it will really help you. And they can watch the video over and over again. Whereas they only get the live Michelle once in my actual classroom, they can rewatch the video.
Thank you.
I'm curious about the new content. Do you ever feel that it'll become stale, or like you pretty much have all the information out there for the test already? So,
well, let me ask you, are commas, okay, you know, you learned about commas in, I don't know, 7th grade or something like that. Has it changed? No, I'll tell you no, no it hasn't. So commas, there are 9 rules on commas, okay? 9 different times that you use commas. I'm sure that a lot of folks in here could get a little refresher because we tend to forget that. But so the content itself doesn't, the rules don't change. However, updating videos, absolutely. On my YouTube channel, I made a comma video like 2 years ago. My editing skills are different now. I make much higher quality videos than I did back then. And so I definitely need a new comma video.
got it.
About like seeking your clientele here locally.
Okay, so for you folks online, she asked a question regarding locally, how do I get my customers? And so the way I get my customers is really just students that find, I guess it's really a two-part question. So how do students go about getting their GED in general? So our program here at Western Wyoming Community College has different advertising strategies, word of mouth and other things. But purely persistent, locally, I would say through the students that we have, as well as students that are not involved with a program that just look up online GED, I tend to pop up.
How long is your subscription length? So if somebody buys your course, how long will they have access to that? Is it forever, or are they cut off? Or?
Yes, infinitely. Because someone purchases a course, let's say they purchase this course I'm going to be offering in January. It's going to be a 2-week course. However, they will have access to this course for however long it takes, because maybe they're not at the point where they have enough time to take the course and pass the test. And so they will have it infinitely, because part of it will be recorded and part of it will be, I'll have the pre-recorded videos, but then the videos that we do that are live, those will also be recorded and they can review those videos when they need. All right, thank you all so much. I really appreciate your time and your attention, and online friends, thank you so much as well.
So next up, we have Gainesha with Levi Abrahamson.
I want you to take a minute and think about a time you were at an event somewhere, maybe driving past some empty driveways, open reserved parking spaces, but you couldn't find a place to park. Maybe you were hunting and you saw a herd of elk on the other side of some private land, but there was no way to get over there. It could just be you need a place to store a trailer or to camp for the night. My name's Levi Abrahamson. I'm the founder and CEO of Gainesha, and we are setting out to solve those problems and more. All over the world, there's land that's underutilized, and often landowners are willing to allow access to this property. They might need some incentive, or they might just want control over when and how the land is accessed. That's understandable. Land ownership is expensive. Recently, public lands have also come under attack. Many organizations are looking to close off large tracts of land. This could make land surrounding public lands a little bit more valuable from an accessibility standpoint. But even if the landowner is willing to allow access, and there are people willing to pay for that access, how do they find each other? How do we bring those two parties together? And then how sure are we that there's even a market for this kind of service? Well, aside from our market research and competitive analysis, we have some history we can reference. So when Airbnb launched in January of 2008, no investor would give them the time of day. It was a terrible idea. Who wants strangers moving into their house? And then in September 2008, the housing market crashed. The whole economy crashed. Instantly, people were underwater on their mortgage, and a lot of them had lost their jobs. People were looking for any way they could just to keep their homes. Airbnb not only gave them the means to do that, but it became the reason to renovate your basement or to buy a new property. People all over the world discovered the financial freedom that can come from short-term rentals. Property prices are now higher than ever before. Many financial experts are predicting another collapse. Should that happen, Gainesha will be poised for exponential growth. We will provide the means and opportunity thousands of people are needing to weather the next financial storm. And this is how we're going to do it. Landowners will post their property on Gainesha.com. State any authorized uses of the property. This could be hunting, camping, fishing, storage, whatever. Renters can scroll through the properties, find one that suits their needs, get GPS directions, message the landowner directly with any questions, pay instantly, and rate their experience. With the tools and opportunity provided on our website, anyone should be able to have their open space land needs met, all while helping landowners cover the cost of land ownership. So our target customer is generally going to be male between the ages of 25 and 50 with an annual income between $45,000 and $150,000 a year. Less than that, funds tend to be a little too tight. People making more than that tend to have other opportunities. But as we grow and gain in popularity, we believe that upper limit is going to go up significantly. Often people want to experience new things in different places. So as the idea becomes more acceptable, larger and nicer properties will become more receptive to posting their property and attracting higher paying renters. So these are some areas we've identified for immediate focus. First off, we have parking. The average driver spends about $87 a year on parking, and there's a little over 232 million drivers in the U.S. So if you've ever parked outside a stadium or other major event and you've seen people renting out their driveways, Gainesha will streamline this process, and it won't require someone to be there. So if you're out of town for the weekend of the big game, why not put your driveway on here and make $100? Parking in the U.S. is a $23 billion a year industry. Next, we have outdoor enthusiasts. Outdoor enthusiasts tend to spend about $4,600 a year with an estimated 140 million consumers. This market segment may end up being our bread and butter. People spend so much on this because these are the activities we do with the people we care about, our friends, our family. It's where many of us choose to bond. Rest assured, if you ever want access to private land, take a kid with you. Landowners know that if our future generations are going to appreciate the world's open spaces, they're going to need access to them. That's why we spend $646 billion a year in this industry. And then we have storage. There's about 100 million people in the U.S. that pay for storage with an average cost of $2,400 a year. Drive by a storage facility and you'll see people will pay to store just about anything. That's $240 billion a year spent storing grandma's old couch. Then we have events. There's about 20 million events held in America each year with an average booking cost of about $5,000. I'm personally looking for a wedding venue now, and I would love a $5,000 wedding venue. This means that Americans are willing to spend $100 billion a year just to have a place to party. So this gives us a target market of 540 million customers and a market size of over $1 trillion. So with those kind of numbers, yes, we have competition, but everything out there is just a little too specific. There's no clear leader in the short-term leasing of open land. And if you take a look at our competition, they all sell the same thing: access to open spaces. That's not what we're selling. We're selling opportunity. That could be the opportunity gained from the greater financial freedom of renting out your property, or from being able to explore the world and having your needs met. So we are increasing our social media presence. Our primary focus right now, though, is search engine optimization. People need to be able to find us. I have a favorable offer from a marketing company that will help with content creation, website design, pay-per-click, SEO, and other marketing needs. I feel that contracting out some of our marketing starting out is going to be an effective strategy until we can bring more people onto staff. For sales, we're going to target landowners first. Without enough landowners, there's nothing to rent. It's pretty obvious. We're going to get those landowners by showcasing all the upsides of posting their property with us as opposed to any other leasing companies, and eliminating any possible risks. So it doesn't matter if you have a parking space you're not using or ties to an organization that has thousands of acres. There's no downside or loss of control to post your property on Gainesha. Once we have enough landowners, we're going to switch over to renters. We can show renters that the opportunity of the world's private lands are just a few clicks away. Our revenue stream's pretty simple. We take 10% right off the top of any booking, and then as we grow, there could be some revenue potential for ads and data sales. I partnered with a company out of California. They're called Idea Pros. Their CEO, Fred Carey, has taken multiple companies public and raised over $200 million in startup capital. The mentorship and access and relationships that Idea Pros has given me has really helped get the company to this stage. All right, so our productions here, you can see the first 14 months or so have been pretty much self-funded. We're currently working on securing more investment capital. This will fund the next stages of our development. These jumps in the cash balance and cash inflow you see, they coincide with expected investment dollars. You can see we're expecting pretty minimum sales at first. It'll take a while for our advertising to really start taking off. And then we are expecting some dips between December and March because people don't like to be outside when it's cold out. As far as our timeline goes, we have 3 major issues. First, of course, we need our funding. Then that'll allow us to attract the talent we need and begin our advertising. Our website is up and we are refining our user experience, but we will be contracting much of our startup needs until we can hire the staff needed. So we took our inspiration from the Hindu god Ganesh. She's the remover of obstacles, because that's exactly what we're doing. We're removing obstacles. It's thought to bring good luck, is the patron of arts, science, and the diva of intellect and wisdom. We need all of these to succeed in life and business. But as I said earlier, what we're selling is opportunity. That's what I'm offering you right now. An opportunity. My company will have a positive impact on thousands of people all around the world. And you can say you were there at the beginning. You helped make it happen. Airbnb made billions renting out extra living space. We can rent out the rest of the world. Thank you.
First again?
So my first question was going to be why the name, and you just explained that, so that makes sense. But when you're talking about your competition, is anybody doing this actual renting of land? I have never, you went back and I saw like Airbnb had many check marks from it, but I didn't know if anybody was actually doing land rental.
So there are companies that are trying to sell places to, say, store trailer, or they're focused solely on fishing or solely on hunting. That's why I said they're far too specific, because if they're all selling the same product, why limit your market so much? There's 100 uses for open land.
Sure.
I mean, people might want to metal detect or go foraging for food or any number of things. So we only need one website that can do all of those things as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so then I have another question. Have you discussed this with your targets, the landowners themselves? Is this up and running? I guess it's a two-part question. Have you discussed it with a lot of landowners, and what is their reaction? And is your website up and running right now?
Our website is up. We are working on the final landing page. The only property that's actually on there is, this is actually my property. This is the page that I put up as a test.
Okay.
So we should be able to start taking landowners probably as early as late January. I don't have a lot of landowners signed up yet. I've been trying to get the website up and multiple things going. I got a lot of irons in the fire. But so far, the few I have talked to have been pretty receptive to it. So that's why I want to make sure that they know they have control over who's on their land and when. And that seems to be the clinch factor for most landowners I've talked to.
Okay, thank you.
Levi, I liked the presentation.
Thank you.
Just to follow up on that, as far as, so I got on the website the other day, and it's kind of like where I see the different boxes you can check off for what you're looking for on there, to whittle your search down. I was just going to see, if one of the competitors, like the Airbnbs of the world or whatnot, if they open land, is there anything protecting you from them doing that, or if the major players kind of step on your toes there? Do you see them doing that at all, or what's your thought on that?
There's always that possibility. Right now, I haven't seen any of that. As far as protections go, I'm just trying to get out ahead of it. Then often what they tend to do is buy you out rather than compete with you, because they have enough money to do that. So maybe that could be a good option out for me, but for now all I can really do is just keep beating my head against the wall till I can make something happen.
Sounds good. And then as far as the expected investments that you had in the cash flow report in the future, a big part of that is just the marketing, kind of purely and simple, to get it out there in front of as many people as possible. I take it that's number one, what the use is, and then is that going to be with grants, or what is your game plan as far as on those capital injections?
So I've actually already had a couple online meetings with a few venture capital firms. And then I've only gotten offers for venture debt so far. I'm more looking to sell equity. To match our numbers, we basically need a minimum of $1 million over the next 2 years. It's going to cost us roughly $20,000 a state to enter into that state and blanket it with advertising for 3 months. And then, of course, we'll be able to see what advertising's working and adjust our advertising from there to make sure our money goes further. That answer your question?
Yes. Thanks. Levi, I've got a couple questions for you. Right now, how many employees do you have? And what are your projections, say, the next 3 years, how many you would employ at that point?
Right now, you're looking at the whole company.
You and all of it?
Right now.
So once the website's developed, you wouldn't have a lot of need that you would have people monitoring or repairing or building that website or doing any behind-the-scenes work. That would be contracted out through another company?
Well, right now, that is all contracted out, and that is not what I want. It's a lot slower as I'm trying to get things addressed, issues on the website, customer service problems, anything along those lines. Having to deal with a contractor isn't going to keep the customers happy, and if the customers aren't happy, they're not going to keep showing up. So the first bit of that money is going to go towards a COO who can handle some of the coding and work towards that. And then at least one customer sales representative. These can be remote positions as long as they're, accessible. Moving forward, yes, of course, we'll need a home office and servers and all kinds of things. But as a technology company, a lot of these jobs are going to be remote, and they can be in Wyoming or anywhere else in the country for that matter.
Thank you. Different direction on this question, but as a landowner, my mind goes to liability. If I've got people using my land for different reasons, what are your thoughts there? I mean, do you have any liability as the person connecting those, or are you going to have, the landowner going to have to have insurance if somebody's going to be coming on their land for multiple uses? How is that going to affect the whole process?
So we've talked to insurance companies. We will be able to offer a level of insurance to the landowner, and there will also be waivers signed that, much like if you were to store something at any facility, they make you sign a waiver, they're not responsible for damage. It would be the same thing as far as, especially what they're doing. If they're hunting on your property, you can set rules. So don't shoot if there's cows on the property, or don't shoot within so far of the house. You can definitely kick any people off your property, and you'll be able to rate the customers as well. So from a liability standpoint, between the insurance and the waivers, we believe we can protect the landowners.
All right, Levi, thank you for the presentation. So I guess besides offering all of the amenities that all the other competitors do, like you offer all their products as well, how do you create a competitive advantage against those existing monstrous companies?
To be honest, short of Airbnb, I don't really see a whole lot of monster companies. It seemed like just about everybody had the same idea at the same time. Some of them beat me to market by months. Some of them beat me to market by no more than a year. The main one up there is Airbnb, and like you said, they're going to be a monster. Although it's not right now, it's not a market they want to move into. So if you have just a parking space, you could probably use some of these, and that's all you need. But like I said, there's a lot of uses for land. So if you have a few acres somewhere that sure you could store something, or maybe it's enough someone could go hunt on, or any other number of things, do you want to have 50 logins, or just have one company that can cover it all for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Your current partner that you mentioned, what are they doing? Are they just money, or simply money into you right now, or are they taking part of this company too, or doing something on their side?
So they provided a lot of marketing advice. They helped with a lot of the finance cost of building the website, filing for trademarks, You know, there's actually a lot of employees to get us to this point, and he, of course, covered, and they're his employees, and he covered their wages. And then moving forward, you know, he's continuing to offer mentorship. He set me up with some meetings for some venture capitalists there. So I'm going to have to end up flying to California to meet with them. So just because he's been in that business and that industry for so long, one of the main things he's really providing at this point is connections.
Awesome. And then what holds you back in moving into another state, or what does that 20,000 go to directly? Is that straight advertising? That's why you want to focus on one state and try to move to that? Or?
Yeah, that's mostly advertising. And then there's some legal paperwork involved as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Remi's Clubhouse, founded by Debbie Stainbrook.
Hi there, my name is Debbie Stainbrook, and along with my husband Jeff, we opened Remi's Clubhouse. We're a tail wagging good doggy daycare. We're a brick and mortar building at 950 Elk Street in Rock Springs. So I want to introduce you to a few of my furry friends. So this is Co. Co's mom was waiting for us in the parking lot as soon as she heard that a daycare was opening, because this dog has more energy than any 10 dogs you will ever meet. The only thing that runs out his energy, the only time he rests, is if he's been playing at daycare. This is Roy. Roy came to us as a pretty young guy. His dad worked shift work. He would have spent all of his time in a kennel at home. Instead, he gets to sit on Cayenne's lap. Sadie Mae, her mom's a teacher in the district, and this is her baby. And when she had to go back to work, she brought Sadie to us. Sadie was only 8 weeks old when she started with us, and she's still at daycare today. Her mom didn't want her left home alone, so she came to us. This is Walt. Walt's dad's in the audience. So Walt cannot be left home alone. We heard lots of stories about Walt. The best one was he ate an Apple Watch before his mom was ever even able to unpackage it. Kopi and Cinch, they came to us and they spent 29 barking-filled nights with us. There was disaster at their house and their humans had a place to go, but the dogs didn't have anywhere to go, so they came to us. This is Simon. He was our second client. Co was our very first, Simon was our second. His mom was really worried about leaving him because he has separation anxiety. Now when she comes to pick him up, Simon has to choose between staying with me and going with his mom. His mom also told me that one of the main reasons she stays in Rock Springs instead of moving back to Green River is that Simon gets daycare. Otherwise, he'd be at home in a kennel while she worked. So we literally have hundreds of stories. We have customers that are traveling for chemo treatment, so we keep their dogs for them. When the Airstream rally came, we watched their dogs while they went and enjoyed beautiful southwestern Wyoming. We have people who come down from Big Piney and they bring us their babies while they shop in the big city of Rock Springs. So the problem was that all of these people had these fur babies that they absolutely loved, and they didn't want to leave them home alone, or they couldn't leave them home alone while they were at work. So our solution was Remi's Clubhouse. So we have a big play area up top where the dogs can lounge around in the shade. They can play with their buddies. Drake there, he loves that chair. We have a spray park up there. We have a climbing structure that is actually for little kids. It was donated to us. We have pools. Trampolines, they love the trampolines. We have indoor fun too. They can hang out on the couch with their favorite human. They can find a comfy spot on the floor, or they can always have fun playing Frisbee. And definitely a must is playing with a ball or bubbles. So our best customers are definitely our repeat customers. Our repeat customers can be anything from coming every single day. They come twice a week. They come a couple of times a month. Our fur babies' parents, they tend to be shift workers, school district employees, city employees, so middle class working members of our community. And they tend to be families with no kids at home, and these dogs are their babies. We have we have boarding now, and our repeat boarding customers, they're also 50 to 75% of those customers are also our repeat daycare customers. Then we have 25% of our pups who come just for boarding. So there is no shortage of dogs. Wyoming is a pet-loving state. We rank #1 in the United States for having 72% of the families in Wyoming have at least one pet in their home. Green River Animal Control licensed 489 dogs in 2022 and 376 so far in 2023. Our marketing strategy is very easy. We post things on Facebook, and we post videos and pictures on Facebook, and our pet parents see them and they share them and they talk to people about how happy they are. So when we first opened Remi's, my dad thought I was nuts. He said nobody's going to bring their dog to daycare. And when we opened the door, we had Co and Simon. So we brought our dogs down so they had somebody to play with. Then when the first time we hit 15 dogs, we were like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do with all of these dogs? We have no idea what to do with them. Last year, during the Thanksgiving break, we were closed. But this year we had boarding, so we're open 7 days a week. So over the course of the week of Thanksgiving, we had 248 dogs come through our daycare. Our record high was 51 dogs on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. When I did this first presentation, we had 382 active clients. Then when I had to freeze my frame or my slides, it was 428. We're at 440. So we just have, our only advertising is Facebook and happy pet parents sharing with friends and family, telling them about us, and our numbers just continue to grow. Facebook. So the one on the end right there that says 12, somebody posted, does anybody have a recommendation for a doggy daycare? The first 15 comments, 12 of those were our pet parents jumping on saying Remi's, Remi's, Remi's. So anything we post, our pet parents are great supporters. That TikTok, my grandson's teaching me how to do TikTok. I don't know how to do these things. We're at 322 followers on TikTok. So our competitors, we don't really see the other businesses in town, the other boarding places as our competitors because we do things differently. When dogs come to us, they don't go to kennels, they're playing, they're supervised. We have about 1 employee per 10 to 12 dogs. We try to. So if we compare our boarding, the first one is the hours out of kennels, and when they come to us, they're out of their kennels for almost 15 hours a day. They're only in their kennels at night. They go to bed at about 8 o'clock. We're back at 6, and they're back out of their kennels. So other places, it's expensive to have an employee hang out with the dogs. So especially on weekends, if you go someplace else, they're only let out a couple of times a day. Also at Remi's, we are open 7 days a week now. So they have a 14-hour drop-off and pickup window, Monday through Sunday. So once our prospective client walks through the door, my husband will talk their ear off. He will let them know what a great place we have. Our reception area is clean. We have candy for the humans. We have treats for the dogs. They're offered a tour. We're always ready for them to take a tour. We keep it clean. It doesn't smell like there's been 51 dogs in there. They'll be able to see the play areas, how their pet will spend the day. We recommend that they start at 4 hours so that they know their parents are coming back for them. Like I said, Facebook, tons of videos, tons of pictures. We offer discounts. We have punch cards. And if they come in, they get the grand tour and they'll kind of see what it's going to be about for their pups when they leave them with us. So this is just a picture of our kennels. We like to call them clubhouses. And the dog's having fun in there. We also donate coupons for 4 hours of free daycare to the Humane Society so that they can give them to out with any dog that they adopt from their facility. That was Walt back in there on the couch too. So we have lots of prices. You can come for 4 hours and it's $15. 8 hours is $25, 10 is $30. We do have dogs that stay with us 12 hours or longer. Then we offer a discount for additional dogs if you have more than one. We have a punch card that's a discount. Our boarding rates, we have an additional dog discount. There's a discount after 5 nights. And the best thing, we don't have to bill anybody. They pay us when they pick up their pups. So for our cash flow, our big money maker is the punch card because that's a discount for our pet parents. And then the boarding with daycare. And people that come in for daycare that don't buy the discount card. So our cash flow model, our expenses stay very constant. We pretty much pay for cleaning supplies, pet toys, and employees. And in the winter, we won't talk about the ungodly expense of gas. We have anywhere between 11 and 15 employees. They're just part-time employees right now. But for 2024, we would love to be able to offer a livable wage to at least 2 full-time employees. Devin is here tonight. He's been with us since the beginning. It would be nice to be able to compensate him for all the things he's done to help us grow. We're hoping the Impact 307 could help us improve our outdoor play area because that's really the one place where parents are like, oh my gosh, my dog is so dirty. Well, they are a dog, but they were outside playing. But we want to really put some pet grade artificial turf out there and replace the kid little play structure with a doggy daycare grade big structure. We have more buildings on our property that we can expand into. We expect a big increase between expanding into another building and improving our outdoor play area. We've been sent tons of videos of a doggy daycare bus. So we have contemplated buying a short bus and having a doggy daycare route. Especially, we have a lot of customers from Green River, so they might appreciate that. And then we figure by the end of 2024 that we will be at capacity. We're going to outgrow our parking lot. We're going to outgrow where we're at right now. So we might be looking into another location, maybe in Rock Springs or maybe to Green River, if the current location doesn't kill us first. So I am also a teacher at Desert View. And I want to thank my Desert View family. There's a bunch of them here. Devin's here, our pet parents are here, and my husband and my son are here. And thank you to Impact 307 for giving me this time to talk about Remi's Clubhouse. Any questions? I was right on that button.
And if you have a dog that you'd like to board, she has some business cards out there on the table.
There are business cards out there.
Would you like to go? Sure.
Hi, that's a really innovative idea. Do you have a vision of maybe franchising this? I mean, just in the far future, would you think about franchising this or doing something like that?
So I've taught elementary school for 23 years, and so I was like, I need something when I'm done teaching school.
Okay.
So I'll do a doggy daycare. It'll be fun, she said. It's a lot like teaching elementary school. It's hard. It's hard work. We clean up a lot of things, but I don't know. It would be great if it was that successful, but we're kind of old.
So what is the capacity? How many dogs can you take?
So we are in the old Tom's Wyoming glass building. So we actually have a building that goes, we can expand in our building, but we're kind of outgrowing our parking lot. But we handled 51 dogs. So I don't know.
Okay.
My husband says 50.
Okay. Thank you.
But I think we have room for more.
Thanks.
I was just going to see, as far as, it's awesome they're all outside of a kennel and whatnot, but when they get there for their first introduction, do you just make sure they're socialized well with the other dogs? Or I know you said you got the staffing to, you know, one person per 10 dogs or so. But.
So that's a good question. So we ask their pet parents first if they're good with other dogs, and they tell us honestly. But when they bring them, we introduce them to a few dogs at a time. Dogs we know that are really nice, and we check them out before we put them in with the whole group.
All right. And then any special insurance coverage that you have to have for that with all of them in there?
We have insurance on them, but the insurance looks at them, while we look at them as family, the insurance looks at them as property. So we do have insurance, and it's not as outrageous as we thought it would be. Our gas bill is way worse.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you.
That brings me to my question. I was wondering if you could elaborate on that ungodly gas bill.
That's horrible.
I work for Dominion Energy, so
I know.
I have to make it awkward if I could. Is it? Do you need upgrades to your heating system? I guess is where I'm going.
So our heating system is
that
good,
part of the ask?
but our building is old. It's a cinder block. Yeah.
That might be related.
Yeah.
Thinking, but that's the only question I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. So you mentioned that you were going to be at capacity and that there would be talks about expansion. You said you had customers, Rock Springs, Green River. Where would you see that expansion? Do you think it would be here? Would you want to see both, or would it be Green River next?
We've had quite a few people ask us about Green River, and we are busy here right now. My husband has to build the fences. He's a one-man construction crew. We've had to remodel everything. So that's something we'd probably be looking into more towards the end of 2024.
Thank you.
So my only question is, do you guys get vacation time, or are you, I mean, sounds like you guys are pretty hands-on. So is that something you'd be looking, if you could hire an employee to be at a livable wage, that you guys could not step away, but enjoy some free time?
Yeah, that would be nice, because currently Jeff is there because I'm teaching school, but like Thanksgiving weekend, we were there all weekend. We ran away long enough to eat Thanksgiving dinner, and we came back. So yeah, it's very hands-on. It's very busy.
What would be the biggest thing you need to give somebody a livable wage, I'd say, or?
I think right now we're just recovering from all the money that we spent to open and to make the building as doggy daycare as we could. And, well, actually, I have a proposition for Dominion. That would help us, too. We could become part of a benefits package. I know you guys offer pet insurance, so doggy daycare for your employees might be amazing, especially how much you charge me for my gas. Just saying.
Switch to electric and see if the bill.
Oh, no, I'll stick with gas. No one? Own the building now? We do own the building. So the 51 dogs we had, they weren't all boarding. They were daycare and boarding. We can provide boarding for like 30 to 40 dogs. They do. And we have helped out since we opened. We wanted to start boarding to take care of our daycare customers that come all the time, and then they were going to go on vacation. They needed some place to stay. And we've helped out a lot of people that have had family emergencies, a lot of things happen that, yeah. But they bring their own food, and they can bring anything that would make their dog more comfortable. They do have to make sure their shots are current, and they are like children. They share things and touch things, and yeah, we ask them to keep them home when they're not feeling well, but current on vaccinations. Yes, we've given lots of medication. I've learned how to give insulin shots. I did not know how to do that before, but yeah, we take good care of them. Okay. Have I been bitten? Yes. Sometimes I've been bitten while they're playing. Sometimes a dog was mad at another dog and I got bit. And we do have insurance that covers that. Yes.
Do you ever have any other plans for taking on any other pets?
Do we have plans for taking on other pets? We have been asked. Somebody asked us to board their cat. We thought maybe they didn't like that cat very much. We've been asked to board a ferret, but no, we're going to just stick with dogs. They keep us very busy. Good. Okay, thank you so much.
So next up is Jean-Joseph of Mr. Joe's Hot Sauce.
Hi everybody, my name is Jean-Joseph. I'm the co-founder of Mr. Joe Hot Sauce, along with my wife, Lindy. I have a question for everybody. Have you ever had that problem where you used to eat some food or something and you love it? Then you haven't seen it for a while, you move somewhere else, then you found that same food or you used to eat. You get excited, happy to see that food. To your surprise, you went and bought it and got home. It doesn't taste like what you're accustomed to. Very, very, very bad. That was me, all right? So I do have some disclaimer tonight. So since I have an accent, so my accent, if you have a hard time understanding me, it's because it's a Eastern Idaho accent meshed with Western Wyoming and originally from Haiti. So that's the reason. So just full disclaimer, all right? So, hot sauce, why? Here's a question I should ask first. When you heard the word hot sauce, what are the three things that come into mind? All right, let me answer those for you too. There are three things that usually come into people's mind when they heard the word hot sauce. First, they said, it's gonna be hot, my mouth is gonna be on fire, my tongue is gonna be numb, and guess what? They're worried about going to the bathroom the next 3 days because they know it's gonna be painful. So, this is what happened when you eat hot sauce. The current hot sauce on the market, they're loaded with sodium, high in sodium, they're high in tomatoes, and all those letters you can't read over there, the E124s are preservatives and food colorings, things that your body don't need. But guess what? Because the companies want to make money, they want to make things super cheap and not good for your health. And let's not even talk about distilled vinegars they put in that is more designed for cleaning, but it's all cheap. So coming to America, having been growing up in farming and growing peppers in our family farms, that was the issues I had. So keep in mind, Haiti's hot, humid, and Utah, high, dry, cold, and the hot sauces don't taste like I have to. So I called my mom, and I asked Mom, and I said, Mom, I gotta have some hot sauce, what I am accustomed to. So this is what we decided to do. Mr. Joe decided we're gonna make sauce that is good for your health, and that is things you can pronounce. This is our solution. We created Mr. Joe hot sauce. What our hot sauce don't have, we're non-distilled vinegars, we're also no tomato base, and we're very low sodium. Everything we use and make are fresh. We have to make it with fresh peppers. We make it with fresh spices. This is what we do. So what are Mr. Joe's? This is Mr. Joe hot sauce. This is what you eat. We have 5 flavors for everybody to try. Bourbon ginger is our mild. Pineapple is your medium mild. Peach mango is your medium. Now you're moving away from the sweet and spicy to red chili. That is the original one. And ghost peppers. The ghost peppers, I call it like your alarm clock. Even though it's hot, but it still have flavors. You have flavors because we have real ingredients and we have real spices in there to help you enjoy your food. We're not here to make your mouth hot, but we're here to enhance your food flavors, enjoy the food. Our customers are more predominantly women, and we're shifting more in between like 25 years old to 54. We're not excluding any above, but we realize those are the most, they get excited. The older people love our sauce because they like to set good flavors. The young, they love it because they said it's different. It's not the same thing I'm accustomed to. A lot of customers are very repeat, and it's really reluctant. The favorite thing for me is when I'm at a show, people are very reluctant, and then they finally taste it, and they said, oh, bleep. That dropped my heart because I'm like, uh-oh. And they said, honey, come here, come try that. They're calling people and telling people, hey, come try that hot sauce, because first they thought it's gonna be hot. They found that flavor, and now they're become best customers, and they're advertising for us too. And of course, we use social media. As you can see, those are the followers we have. Where are we selling? Mr. Joe are in 23 retail stores and 6 states: Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, Montana, and Nebraska. In Green River, you can find us at Badass Brewing or Goat Restaurants. They use our product. And also you can find us in Ace Hardware. Rock Springs, you go Ace Hardware, Heart of the Home Kitchenware, and also if you go to right on Book Cliff sales. When you go, if you work at the mine, you go get your, Air Far clothing, you can find our sauce there too. The market for hot sauce. North America market. So in North America, the market in the United States has the biggest compared to Canada and Mexico. But also the global, according to IBIS World, it's between 2.9 billion to 4.46 billion by 2029. And in North America, we have the biggest market share. Our choice, our hope, our wanting is to get into independent grocery stores, is to get into with distribution channel and also specialty stores. We're trying to get into stores, mom and pops, because that's where most people locally use their product or buy their product. We're pushing more for people to get local, so that's where we go, not the big chain. Because we're a Caribbean hot sauce, with our Caribbean background, these are some of our competitors that are closely competitors. Well, as you can see, because we're a small batch, we're a non-tomato base, non-distilled vinegar. So some of our competitors, you can see the difference what they don't have. And as you can see, the price point also per ounce or per bottle. Marketing. So as you can tell, I'm not the best marketing person, as you can tell. I have an accent. And it's really funny when I call a place and I introduce myself, first thing they just hang up on me. I got a couple of calls where they hang up. And my wife would call, and they were like best friend. People would talk to them like, what happened here? I just called the same number. So we do cold call. And I will tell you that we do word of mouth, and we sponsor some of the sports around the town. But the thing is, I did the free sample because I'm selfish. Here's why it's selfish. I give you free sample. What's the first thing you're going to do? After you taste it, you're going to bring people to your dinner table. You're going to share it with them. And you're going to go to work. You're going to talk about it. It's going to be in your fridge at work. So I give you one sample. You're going to bring more business because you love it, because you enjoy it. The other thing we do, we just do organic. Social media. We just do use Facebook, Instagram, and we just started, like she said, I am not a TikTok person at all. So we're just learning how to do TikTok and other things. Our future marketing strategy is to get with foodies, influencers, and getting with distributors, because hot sauce is a volume. So you have to sell a lot of bottles. You don't have that much. So distributors is the best way, food trade shows, and of course, test email and other affiliates. Again, direct call is the best way, we find out. Also, sending free sample to people, distributors, and find out, zero down on what is the thing we need to propelling it. Get our key performance indicators that can get us going. Right now, if you look at it, our product, we make it because we're renting a small kitchen. Because we're fully FDA approved, we cannot make it in our own house kitchen. So everything made in a small kitchen, which is FDA approved, where we have an FDA inspector come, they inspecting us, they check everything. There's check and balance. We have to meet those. Get distributors going. That's the best way for us. As I said, we want to get into wholesaling. More and bigger bottles. We want to sell about 15, we want to get into 1,500 stores in 3 years. To do that, we have to get distributors. We got to get people to get that going for us. And also, we spend a lot of time in trade shows. Around here, I'm sure everybody knows who we are, where we are. Cash flow, believe it or not, hot sauce is a very seasonal. In the wintertime, people like it, but before the holidays. Once the holidays is over, you don't sell a lot. And because also we're buying equipment, you'll see there's some cash, there's some dip on there. Company timeline. We already gained the FDA approval. We got some equipment already. Now it's to expand into a bigger kitchen. Also hiring new employees based on what we have. By doing that, it can help us expand. This is the team. We are using a lot of, we said in America, youth are the future of America, but a lot of companies don't want to gain the youth to give them the experience. It takes time to teach them about money, responsibility, but that's what we do. We use the youth. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you spending the evening with us. I'm open for any questions you might have. Thank you.
And Mr. Joe has brought samples. They're on the Impact 307 table once you get your goodies after the pitches.
Thank you. So where do you get your ingredients for the hot sauce?
We do have a small farmer in Sheep Creek. We live in Green River. That's supplying us in the summertime. In the wintertime, we have to order with distributors from Salt Lake or different places. But right now, this year, pepper's been like a shortage. We can't get peppers. It's hard. And having it fresh, it's not easy to get them.
Okay. So, and you talked about increasing your employee base. Would the employees be in Sweetwater County? Would they be around the state of Wyoming? Because it looks like you sell all over.
Thank you. Yes, every employee we have will be in Sweetwater County because that's where we are. We need employees to help us with making the sauce. One batch take about 10 to 12 hours.
Okay.
Because everything fresh, you wash every peppers, you wash every mangoes, you wash every peaches, everything wash and peel and process right in Green River.
Okay, thank you.
So you mentioned how long it takes for a batch. How many bottles do you make in a run? Or what's the most you can make?
The most I can make right now, let's see, depending on which flavor. So the most we made 144 bottles, 12 dozen.
Okay, and then so how many batches are you trying to run every week?
So batches based on, because they were made to refresh, it's run based on availability of peppers. So with one of the product, you can see this machine right here. I see. Right there, that is a kennel. That one, once we're running it next, we already ordered and it's already delivered. It's 100, they give us like 50 gallons capacity.
Okay. Real quick, just curious on your goal of 1,502 stores in 3 years, how'd you come up with the 1,502?
Perfect. So with distributors, when you go to distributors, they have multiple channels. It's not just one store. So right now in the 23 stores we have, it's just me making cold call. When you get a distributors like, let's just say, Associated Food, they have all those small independent grocery stores. Based on the volume they can sell to those stores, that's how we come up with that. And if you want more information on the cash flow, I spelled that out also.
Okay.
I don't know if you had access to that cash flow document.
Gotcha. We did. I think that answers that. Last question, for the local deliveries, do you deliver those personally or are you shipping everything?
Everything delivered locally, I deliver them. But for other places with our online, we ship those.
Okay, thank you.
My question for you is scalability. With what you're looking at just right here on your timeline, this is a huge jump from going from 8 wholesale accounts to 1,500. How are you going to be able to meet that demand with your production? I mean, is that one machine going to work for you? Are you going to have, I mean, this sounds like you have to have a bigger production facility.
Yes, that's one of our projections. We want to get into bigger kitchen, and this machine, go back right here. These 3 machines, that filling bottle machine can fill 4 bottles at the time. Right now we have one that just fills 2 bottles. So you can increase from a 4 head to a 6 heads where you just 6 the bottle, come on that conveyor belt, and 6 bottles filled at one time. Within 30 seconds, you got 6 bottles filled.
So how many employees would you need to be able to reach your end goal in 2026?
Actually, you need about 5 employees.
That's okay.
Because guess what? You need employees. We'll have a machine that's going to wash all your ingredients for you. Now we don't have to wash everything by hand. Then you also have that machine right here you're looking at. That's your filling machine. That's your capping machine. So you wash all the cap, and then it will just put them and screw it up for you. You'll need people on the front end to make sure bottles are filling properly if there's an issue, and also at the end to grab them. So it will fill it, it will cap it, and it will put the label for you. The label machine I have right now just do 1 bottle at a time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So as you grow and expand and hit your goals, do you see the creation of your hot sauce like staying in Sweetwater County, or would there be other areas as you grow that would also help distribute along the way?
Okay, perfect. It will stay in Sweetwater County, but we will have distributors. With distributors, we can just ship them to the warehouse. So you have a distributor on Midwest, everything shipped to them, and they're distributing to Midwest. And the same thing for the Western. So you go to Associated Food in Ogden, everything shipped to them, and they're distributing like everywhere. So I don't have to do the single shipping on my own like we do.
Thank you.
Is there a shelf life to your hot sauce?
All right. There is a shelf life. FDA told me I have to put 1 year.
Okay.
But by testing, your hot sauce can last a lot longer than that. But anybody who's eating hot sauce, a 5 fluid ounce bottle will not last you a year.
Yeah.
Especially when you try that pineapple or that bourbon on your steak. I promise you it won't last you a year.
I have another question. Are you worried about the flavor or how good it is as you grow and get all this equipment that's essentially going to be doing what you're doing right now?
Yes, it will. But we already have softwares, and then we do run a bunch of tests. When a lot of, don't ask me how I know that. Not every ingredient double. So don't double your sugar, don't double your peppers, because it's gonna be over, like so hot or so sweet or so too salty. We have softwares that does that, and we will send them to a lab that done it also for you.
Awesome, thank you.
Yep.
Sorry, one more question. You said you have a partner that grows peppers in Sheep Creek?
Yes.
You're talking just out here at the south of Manila?
Yes.
Okay, so my next question with that is, where are you, that's obviously a big point of concern, a bottleneck in your business. Like, what are your plans to try and ensure that doesn't limit your ability to produce your spices?
We're working with other distributors in Salt Lake right now. That is, they do run twice a week in Green River. They're supplying product to some of the Hispanic restaurants and grocery stores and some of the big grocery stores.
Thank you.
And as we get bigger, our goal is to go straight to the farmers. When you go straight to the farmers, that's the best way.
So our growing season isn't good enough in Rock Springs?
The growing season is amazing in Rock Springs. Yes. So the question was, one of the previous presentations said some of the businesses, they ship their product, what they call that co-packing. So no, we are not a co-packer. So we wash everything, we cook everything, we blend everything, we bottle everything, we label it, we shrink wrap everything in Green River, Wyoming. We don't plan on doing co-packing. The reason with co-packing, so if you didn't know that, when you do co-packing, you go to a company. That company right there do not care about your product. They will change some of your ingredients. It's not gonna be that exact same ingredient. They'll find the cheapest ingredient. And if there is a failure, you have to do a recall. The co-packing company is not the one they recall. They call your company because it's your label. FDA come after you. Then after, whether you lost the bottle or you gain it, then you can get your lawyer to go after the co-packing. But by then, your reputation, your name, already down on the toilet. But everything we made right here, just like I was doing it when I was in Haiti. That's how we do it. Does that answer your question? Thanks, man. Thanks, everybody. Those online.
And lastly, we have Aaron Lobo and Matt Bowen of Apilloz.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Bowen. I am the marketing manager for Apilloz.
And I'm Aaron Lobo.
Problem out there right now is there's not a single pillow that can adequately support post-surgery recovery, especially those involving the pelvic region. And also there's bed sores that senior care and those who do care at home are facing. Some examples of that, we have John, who is a prostate cancer survivor, recently underwent surgery and is uncomfortable with the recovery process. John needs a quick and versatile pillow that he can use right now that can help him relieve this discomfort. We also have nursing facilities who want to help prevent these bed sores, but not every pillow is universal. Apilloz is that universal pillow that can help with that because it is so adjustable. It is that innovative, multi-purpose, ergonomical, and adjustable pillow. Basically, it fits the individual. It could be used for a variety of applications. It enhances blood circulation, and it does not put undue pressure on the pelvic region. Talking about recovery experiences, it will help with various surgeries, including those of such as Brazilian butt lift or any other cosmetic surgery in that region. It can also be used by anybody who needs help with a posture type pain. That could be neck, back, or tailbone, and it could be used as a seating aid. I know Aaron himself uses the Apilloz in his own vehicle for his traveling to and from Utah, and it is adjustable. Now, our best customer are those that value quality and versatility over cost, and they want to invest in the superior solution, which is Apilloz. Primary customers are those who have undergone these pelvic-related surgeries, as I mentioned. Secondary customers would be those of nursing homes who are trying to prevent the bed sores, or really any individual that is suffering from a posture-related pain. During the practice presentation, talked with Ms. Tynsky about very thin people might have pain in their tailbone if they're sitting for a very long period of time. So really, there is no limit to what this pillow can do. For market, we're focusing on rapid growth segment, and these are those post-surgical patients that are in urgent need of relief right now. Their decision-making process is very quick. Secondarily, we will focus on nursing homes or other seniors that are receiving home care. Basically, we want to enhance their life and take that pressure off and alleviate some of that pain from some of their posture.
Okay, competitors. So we have quite a few competitors. Top three are the almighty donut pillow. Next one is a tailbone pillow, which is used for tailbone pain relief. And the last one is a senior care pillow, which is used to prevent bed sores. So how does Apilloz compare with our competition? So as you can see, Apilloz is the only adjustable pillow which can be used as a seating aid, back pain relief, neck pain relief. Can be used as tailbone pain relief as well as a senior care. In its current form, Apilloz is not waterproof, but the next iteration of it, it would be waterproof. So marketing strategy, the main objective of our marketing strategy is to create visibility for the pillow so that Apilloz becomes synonymous with quality post-surgery recovery. Given that Apilloz is not a very glamorous product and repeat sales are, I would say there wouldn't be any repeat sales. So our strategy is different. Like we have used an inverted funnel kind of strategy where we would put more focus on partnerships and endorsements, and online marketing and content marketing would be secondary. So what's our sales strategy? Our objective of our sales strategy is to keep customer acquisition cost as low as possible. How do we go about it? By customer education, brand awareness, and user testimonials are going to affirm what the customer has learned about our product. On the other hand, we have healthcare partners. Healthcare partners are basically healthcare providers or medical hospitals which are willing to work with us to provide Apilloz at the point of service. And finally, licensing. A revenue model. Internationally, we believe the demand for the product is around 50 million. And in the US, it is upwards of 13 million. But our marketing and sales strategy is focused only on 140,000, which is a rapid growth because of a short sales cycle. And because people in the short sales cycle are because it's driven purely by surgery rates, and the customer is suffering from pain and needs a quick pain relief, and they are the decision makers to buy the product. And this is I would say, very optimistic number. 4.9 million a year is the potential. And cash flow, as you can see, it's every year it's flatline, and it's purely driven by surgery rates, and whatever is extra on top of it, the cyclical part of it is the Brazilian butt lift. So here is a timeline. On October 2023, our patent was granted. So in February 2024, I plan on making just the covers fabricated in India. And then in March 2024, I would hire a salespeople in the US to promote this product, as well as a website. And in January 2025, I plan on starting paperwork for offering this pillow through the FSA, so that by October 2025, the pillow will be listed with the FSA, so that people can buy it and get healthcare reimbursed. So where did this all begin? That's the biggest question. Like, people have always asked me, where did this all begin? So I drive to Salt Lake almost every weekend, and people always tell me, you're going to get back pain, neck pain, and I ignored it. But then people started saying, hey, you know what, truckers get hemorrhoids very easily. And when I heard the word hemorrhoids, it became very personal. So I basically said, hey, let me go and get the donut pillow. And I tried it for a week, and it didn't make any difference. And I was like, okay. So I said, as you might have heard, necessity is the mother of all invention. So I decided to go and design my own and build my own pillow. And as you can see, Apilloz is a registered trademark, just like Coca-Cola, Pepsi. So this is our US patent. It was issued on October 17, 2023. And this is a video of Apilloz. We normally use it for marketing on our Etsy website. That's it. Thank you. Any questions?
And if you'd like to see an example of the Apilloz, it's out on the Impact 307 table.
Yes.
So I do have a couple questions.
Yes.
How much would you sell something like this for? What would be the target amount?
Okay. Currently, I am trying to do it as a use case. I'm trying to find out where this product could be used. So I'm selling it at a loss, I would say.
Okay.
So that you get a good understanding of what my customer would look like in the end. But yes, the ones that I'm going to build with a fox leather, they're going to be a bit pricier.
Okay. So, and when you're talking about your customer, would you sell these? Would you hope to sell these at drugstores or through doctors? Where would your sales be?
Okay, it would be doctors would be recommending them, and it would be sold mainly through affiliate marketing online.
Okay, and just one more question. Your manufacturing of these, where would you plan on doing that?
So actually right now, this version is manufactured in the United States. Okay, the foam is very special, custom foam. It's not so it has to be made in the United States. But the cover can be fabricated anywhere in the world. So, but there is a big demand, a big request from a lot of people, like the nursing home, saying that they love this product, but they want it to be waterproof. And it's very hard to get somebody in the United States to make them for a price that I want.
Okay.
So that's why I'm trying to see if I can get it overseas, like in India, if they can make it for me.
Okay, thank you.
I think she had a fair amount of my questions there. But I was going to see, so you had the 30% margin deal. Is that what you guys did off some of your cash flows? There was that line item for contribution margin per unit. Is that what you were looking at netting from the sales?
Yes.
Do you know? Okay. Okay, that makes sense. And then as you ramp up, where would you keep all the inventory? Would you have to, are you going to ship directly from, I guess, where the manufacturer is? Does it go to a distribution center, or what's your plans there?
Because we have, see, if you look at the numbers, in the third year, I'll be selling like 1,000 a month. It's not like I'm selling like 10,000, 20,000. So there is, just to make the foam, the lead time is 3 months. So at the moment, I'm placing them in my house, but yes, if I need to, I could have a distribution center right in Sweetwater. I don't need it anywhere else.
Anybody else?
What would you anticipate the economic impact to be for Wyoming in general with your product?
Okay, only thing that would benefit state of Wyoming would be the taxes. Because mainly the marketing, majority of the, given that it's all relative, like surgery rates, like Brazilian butt lifts and all this are not performed in state of Wyoming. So, so that's the reason why I would say that they're all, it's only, okay.
Thank you.
Have you, by chance, partnered like with any local medical professionals, or at least thrown the idea out to them about potentially recommending your product down the line?
I have tried. I've tried a couple of times, but just like Mr. Joe said, like, the minute they hear my voice, they will just hang up on me, or just like, they will think that there's a scammer, somebody trying to sell them a Microsoft product.
Thank you.
What is the reason for waiting on the FSA? So it showed in your your timeline.
Okay, so to be on the FSA, there needs to be some sort of validation for the product. Because the first, I already have validation for the product, but I want to have a better, right now my sales are around like 55 units in the last 1.5 years. So I basically want to have at least 500 units sold, so that when I go to those people who approve it for FSA, I have something to show, okay, I've done these sets.
I got one. So you got your patent already?
Yes.
Have you considered simply licensing your patent? Inviting it to a competition? Or you got manufacturing lined out? And you take the cut?
Trying to repeat the question.
No, okay, so the minute I got the patent, I got like probably 10 to 15 mails from all the manufacturers in the, for drop shippers from China who are willing to build this for me. But the main part is like, the main reason I did this is like the foam is manufactured in the USA regardless. I don't want it to be made in China, because if it's made in China, then I do not have any control over the quality. And it's all about quality. It's like, in the end of the day, I could give it to somebody else and they could run it however they want to. But that's not what I'm looking for long term. So. No questions? Then I just thank you.
So I introduced a lot of people today, but I apologize, I did forget one of them. Marty Crollo, if you could please stand up. So Marty Crollo works on the Southwest Manufacturing Partnership. He's also leadership for two of the sponsors, All West Communication and Grow Wyo. And now each of you will have a chance to vote for your favorites. If you picked up a program, it's also on here, the instructions. If not, you can look right here. But we want you to text 3 choices to 551-319-5799. So these are 3 separate texts. So the first one is the Audience Choice Award presented by RSMB. And so you'll text, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, depending on your choice. And then Job Creator Award presented by State Bank. So you'll text a number between 7 and 12, depending on your choice. And then the Innovation Award presented by Industrial Services, Inc. So text one number 13 through 18. And so we'll set a timer. And then if also you guys could there we go. So also, if you guys could allow the judges to go be first at the food and drinks, we'll excuse the judges now while you guys start your texting. And thank you all so much for coming. So after you text, there'll be a reception in the pendulum area. And then the judges will be deliberating. And then we'll all come back and announce the winners. Thank you so much. Well, welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed some food, and feel free to make yourself a plate, to go, as we wrap this up. So, the judges had some very difficult deliberations, and now we'll announce the winners. First, the audience chosen awards. So the audience choice, do you want to present it? Okay.
And the Audience Choice Award goes to Remi's Clubhouse. Congratulations.
All right, and the Job Creator Award goes to Remi's as well.
Dan, can we? So the Innovation Award, presented by Industrial Services, Inc., goes to Remi's Clubhouse. And now we'll announce the Seed Fund winners. So Those are Black Gold Jelly and Mr. Joe's Hot Sauce. Thank you all for coming, and please drive safe.